news headlines. Federal government gives grants to Nigerian youths who venture into small and medium-scale enterprises (SME). State government orders full-scale probe into murder of Obong Okonwa, former Deputy Speaker at Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. Ekaite Onoma Akpabio concludes women rally with visit to Nsilibom and Onna local government areas. Also in this package, dispute resolution officers charged to maintain neutrality in discharging their duties. Details of these and other stories in a minute. Good morning and thanks for joining us on the news. I am Samuel Udofia. The state government has ordered a full-scale probe into the murder of the former Deputy Speaker at Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Obong Okonwa. Governor Godswill Akpabio, who condemned the act in its entirety, described it as a strange and cowardly occurrence. The governor, whose reaction was communicated to journalists by the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Mr. Nyakanomana, said nobody's political ambition is worth the blood of any citizen. In a press briefing attended by the Commissioner for Lands, Obong Akpan, and Chairman of Kanafon Local Government, Apostle Sylvester Udoka, among others, the governor condemned the dastardly act and commended the security agencies for acting fast in making some arrests. He warned that violence and political thuggery of any kind will not be tolerated, advising that security agencies should be on alert to protect lives while ensuring orderly conduct of the 2015 elections in the state.
His Excellency Governor Akpabio committed to the bereaved family and assures them that the security agencies will leave nothing to chance and will ensure they unravel the cause of the tragedy and bring the culprits before the law. Gentlemen, it's a very sad incident that we have found ourselves in, and it's very, very worrisome. The government is very worrisome to every serious-minded citizen of this state that at this time, when the world is preaching non-violence, when government and political parties are coming together to sign a cause of non-violence, and we are bedeviled with this type of strange and dastardly occurrence in the state. This is very worrisome, and the government is not happy at all with this.
Fielding questions from journalists, the Commissioner advised against politicization of the issue as Obongwa's demise is a loss to the state. He described accusations by the opposition as senseless talk, emphasizing that issues bordering on life should not be used as political talk. He absolved Governor Akpabio of making any inciting statement at any point in the ongoing campaigns and advised those seeking political office to stay on issues rather than indulge in character assassination.
Just speak on the issue of death, especially of a prominent citizen like the former Deputy Speaker, whom you know, irrespective of what anybody may think of political leading. He's a very good friend. Is a very good friend of all of us, seated here, including the governor of Akwa Ibom State, on one-on-one friendship, speaking terms, irrespective of whatever political leading that anybody may think.
In their contributions, the Commissioner for Lands, Obong Akpan, and the Chairman of Kanafon Local Government, Apostle Sylvester Udoka, sued for peace to avoid compounding the problem. They advised people not to sit in the state capital to fabricate falsehood.
So we are very on the occurrence of this matter, giving of a senior citizen of Kanafon because of comments. Share pains and grief of the family. We don't God or assist the security agents of rather is unwholesome acts.
It's a blow to Kanafon people. It's a loss to Kanafon people. It's a loss to the states.
With the recent abolition of re-entry visa, the has approved operational reforms on the new visa policies to cover resident expatriates, accredited diplomats, government officials, Niger wives, persons on special immigration status, dependents, that is, spouse and minors, as well as expatriates of international NGOs. The statement by the Controller of Immigration Service, Akwa Ibom State Command, signed by the Command PRO S.I. Jaja, says a one-day sensitization forum would soon be arranged for stakeholders and others in the state to discuss details of the approved operational reforms on visa policies. However, the reform outline indicates that for resident expatriates, the re-entry visa has been abolished and ceases to be a requirement for the purpose of readmitting any foreigner legally resident in Ibom State or Nigeria from April 6. For the special categories of resident, all accredited diplomats and their dependents to Nigeria shall continue to enjoy the issuance of re-entry visa on gratis for the purpose of re-entry into Nigeria. And for the Niger wives and persons of special immigration status, an impress on the status on their passports shall suffice for the purpose of re-entry into Nigeria. The mobilization of women The mobilization of women campaign embarked upon by the wife of the governor, Mrs. Unorma Akpabio, has ended with a visit to Nsiribom and Ona local government areas. The First Lady's visit was aimed at sensitizing women on the need to vote the right people that will continue in empowering and catering for women's needs. Eyainopo takes us down.
The governor's wife's entourage was received with accolades at Afarafiong, headquarters of Nsiribom local government area. Women of the local government expressed gratitude to the governor's wife for empowering them as well as building houses for widows. In their addresses, the Director General of the Udom Moses campaign, Otuekongidong Esenkara, Mr. Nete took of the State House of Assembly, Chairman of Nsiribom, Princess Mfonekong, wife of the paramount ruler, and other stakeholders assured the state's First Lady that Nsiribom will vote PDP from President Jonathan to the candidates of the State House of Assembly. Mrs. Ekaitu Unorma Akpabio thanked the women for the rousing welcome accorded her and told them that with Udom as the next governor, women will have more appointments into exalted positions and that Martha will continue to empower them.
I stand with Her Excellency, the wife of the incoming governor.
The next of call of the team was in Nsiribom local government area. There, the women sang solidarity songs for their august visitors. Political stakeholders in the local government area, including Senator Effiong Bob, Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Elder Samikon, Barrister Nofiok Luke of the State House of Assembly, Chairman Nsiribom, and others, promised to vote PDP in the forthcoming elections.
We have all the women here as the women that matter in the politics of Nsiribom. Nsiribom people are loyal to PDP.
The wife of the governor presented Martha Udom and other candidates of Nsiribom to the women.
My leg, carry me to go. I said my leg, carry me to go. Anywhere who don't get, carry me to go. Anywhere who don't get, carry me to go.
The team later moved to Una, where the PDP flag bearer in the state, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, was on hand to welcome them. Also on hand were the women of Una, cultural display including Ntogodo Odio and Sisters of Udom Emmanuel. The governorship hopeful Mr. Udom Emmanuel and his wife Martha lauded Mrs. Akpabio for visiting Ona as the last point and told her that Ona women who came out in their numbers are ready to vote all the candidates of PDP and donated 5 million naira to the women.
You see those with your Iban, they will just sing and dance with their own son, with their own candidate, who is going to be the next governor. And then they wave to Her Excellency. They say,
Other elder statesmen and political stakeholders, including the chairman of ONA, while the paramount ruler, among others, also bade their minds. The governor's wife, who was full of praises for Udom and wife, started her speech at ONA with a song, Anye Wetiente Jehovah. Thereafter, she enjoined women to vote for the son, Udom, and other candidates. With a visit to ONA, the First Lady has completed her women mobilization rally in all the 31 local government areas of the state. Iyagenopo reporting.
Thank you, Iyagenopo. The Akwa Ibom State Chief Judge, Justice Donson Tamiswa, has advised the 10 newly recruited dispute resolution officers in Akwa Ibom State Multi-Door Courthouse to remain neutral in their role as mediators, saddled with the responsibility of seeking amiable solution to conflicts. Justice Ntemiswa gave the advice during an in-house training for the newly appointed officers to equip them for their new office. Details of the training is presented in our studios.
The in-house training open. The Chief Judge encouraged the 10 officers to read widely and familiarize themselves with the demands of their new responsibility, knowing that the judiciary stands for dispensation of justice to all persons.
You have to be objective. You will be like you allow the parties to work out their own settlement. You are like an umpire. You are not expected to take sides. You can guide. You can direct.
The Chief Registrar, Mr. Nyekaneton, congratulated the 10 dispute resolution officers who had hitherto served the judiciary in other capacities for meeting the requirements of recruitment as DROs, announcing that an 18-seater bus has just been assigned to the multi-door courthouse in the state to enhance their services.
In my view, this is more than a routine duty to earn a living. So much more is expected from you by both the judiciary and the members of the public. Neutrality should be your watchword whenever you are involved in litigation.
Welcoming the DROs and receptions to the 2 days workshop, the acting director of the multi-door court, Chief Magistrate Helen Umana, said the training would introduce the new DROs to their new work environment and equip them with the necessary skills needed to promote peaceful coexistence in communities through amicable, mutual and informal resolution of conflicts using the Alternative Dispute Resolution ADR.
This is the first time that an in-house training will be organized for newly recruited dispute resolution officers before they are assigned cases to mediate perform as mediators.
Several resource persons, including Justice Enoy Sangedri, trained the new DROs on procedures and mechanisms of the multi-door house, as well as ethics and code of conduct expected of mediators in the ADR.
To full block for this room is
We'll be right backstage.
As
approaching, I just want to make one appeal. My women, your sisters, your mothers, your daughters, all of them are supporting our governor and the PDP. When there is an election, they need to be protected. And it is only you that can protect them. We need to harvest our votes for all the PDP candidates.
What you have done for us in Akwa Ibom State is for our benefit, is for our future, and the future belongs to us. And so, in appreciation as a token to what you've done for us, we are committed to stand by all the people that are carrying the flag of PDP. We will vote and stand by and watch our vote and make sure that our votes are not tampered with. That is the only thank you we are going to offer you, Your Excellency.
Today, we are touched. I want to say all the youths should be humble and respect the leadership of Akwa Ibom State, and that leader is Barrister Godswill Obot Akpabio.
I went around all 31 local government areas campaigning. These were the faces I saw at the rally grounds. God will bless you in Jesus' name. And I want to tell the Akwa Ibom people that the next government is government of the youths, by the youths, and for the youths. On the day of election, go out early for accreditation. Go there and stand and protect your vote. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is coming back. Udom Emmanuel is taking over. Godswill Akpabio is going there.
You're still watching AKBC 45 News at Dawn, and I'm Samuel Udofia. Nigerian youths willing to venture into any small and medium-scale enterprise, SME, will receive grants from the federal government. President Goodluck Jonathan stated this while addressing a cross-section of Nigerian youths at a one-day investment seminar organized by Press Play in Ibom Hall, Uyo. Livingstone Daniel was there.
President Jonathan advised the youths not to be carried away nor deceived by the rhetoric of some desperate politicians who are bent on deceiving them that his administration is not youth-friendly, describing such an allegation as laughable. Represented by the PDP Uyo Senatorial District candidate Obongbasi Albert, President Jonathan said his administration has demonstrated a sincere commitment of purpose to eradicate problems facing the youths, including unemployment. He appealed to them to vote for the president to enable him complete his transformation agenda.
Because we know what he has done and where the economy of Nigeria was and where we are today as a country, and he has shown us clearly the future. All I keep assuring you is that there is hope for you.
The State Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDEN, Mrs. Lucy Ekpenyong, said the agency is saddled with the responsibility of developing and managing micro-enterprises in the country. She noted that the agency is adequately funded by President Jonathan to perform its mandates, which include providing business services, counseling, and training for people willing to venture into SME. She advised the youths to take advantage of SMEDEN Youth Entrepreneurship Development Program to nurture their business ideas into reality.
We have the Youth Entrepreneurship Development Program. It comes up once every year that is sponsored by the federal government. You don't have to pay anything. All you need to do is to find out when the program comes up and you can enroll.
On his part, the representative of UWIN, Mr. Iweze Christopher, said UWIN program is another avenue President Goodluck Jonathan is empowering the youths with a grant of 1 to 10 million naira, stressing that about 3,900 youths have so far benefited across the country. He advised the youths to write a viable business plan or proposal to the agency to be qualified for such grants.
as a grant and not a loan. All you owe the government is do exactly what you have said you are going to do in your business plan.
The representative of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mrs. Akim Kimbumu Adeyinka, said that agriculture in the 21st century has become a business, noting that the ministry is currently training youths and women on various aspects of agriculture, including production and agricultural value chain business. She emphasized that after the training, the trainees will be given a grant ranging from 2 to 5 million naira to start up agricultural business.
What we do is that we train youth, we train women. After training, we empower you and we mentor.
The youth wing of the Christian Council of Nigeria, a major block of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State Chapter, has organized a one-day summit on non-violence campaign and voters' education ahead of the upcoming general elections in Nigeria. The youth summit, which took place at the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, Uyo Parish, Wellington Bassey Way, was attended by religious leaders, the INEC, media, Nigerian police and other stakeholders in the electoral process. Etienne Oibama has details.
And is one of the generations. It for a demonstration of political and evangelical initiative and a determination to continue a sacred mandate of collaborating with government to form a mature and enlightened electorate for the growth of democracy. The chairman on the summit, Elder said it is the right time for the Christian Council of Nigeria to brainstorm on the need for actions. Most of the electoral violence is perpetuated by youth. Elder Panya called on the parties to propagate the message of non-violence.
The time is very, very right for the youth wing of CCN, to call us together today to talk on this very important topic.
In a keynote that provides public utilities while good government provides secure and conducive environment for the exercise of religious activities. The Reverend Ekanem argued that politics is only made dirty by the players and Christians should be involved in politics to make it clean.
If politics is dirty, very good, dedicated, and convinced Christians must not sit back and criticize. They must get out of their religious sanctuaries and occupy the public space of politics to sanitize it.
The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Gabriel Achong, represented by the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mike Okoli, assured that the police will maintain public order as well as create a favorable climate for a democratic election. Mr. Chong reiterated the command's readiness to ensure peaceful conditions at the and coalition centers during the election and to enable voters to exercise their franchise without fear of intimidation, violence, or manipulation.
The Nigerian Police Force is the leading force, it is the leading agent in providing security during the electoral process.
The chairman, Nigerian Union of Journalists, Elder Patrick Albert, in a paper on media as change agent in managing attitudinal and social violence in the society, hinted that the press plays a significant role in informing and influencing people's attitude and behavior. Elder Albert said it was in preparation for the upcoming elections that the State Council of NUJ, in conjunction with a media consultancy firm, organized a 2-day workshop on responsible reporting of the 2015 general elections for members.
Non-violence attitude can become a way of life if a philosophical mind is attuned to the dynamics of individual equality and balance.
A representative of the INEC Commissioner for Akwa Ibom, Barrister Austin Okoje, sensitized the summit on voters' education and card reader, even as he restarted the preparedness of the Commission to conduct free, fair, and transparent elections.
When the elected are well informed, enlightened, and educated on the spiritual and enlightened electoral system will
the Christian Council of Nigeria, Mr. Udo, the time has come for young people to know their role in leadership and governance of the society. He urged electors to dissociate themselves from violence and after the elections, but exercise their franchise by conscience.
Young people whose future must be protected for, calling our elders, calling the institutions of authority who is concerned to address us on the norms of the society.
A lifetime relationship between the families of Mr. Pius Dominic Etum of Ibionibum and the late Mr. Okon Frank of Oron local government area was planted when the marriage was consecrated between their daughter Ekemini Pius and son Uduak Frank. The event, which held at Ibiako Ibidep, Ibionibum local government area, featured the ushering in of the bride and groom and formal handing over of the bride to the groom. Later, during the solemnization of the Holy Matrimony, which was held at the Christ City Church International, the couple exchanged vows and rings. The officiating minister, Pastor Uyota Kingsley, advised the couple to depend on God for a successful marriage and avoid the influence of third parties.
Rescue in time of trouble. That's what he said. Call me in time of trouble, for I will what? I will answer you. I will answer you. In time of trouble, I will answer you. That means that there will be trouble. He knew there will be trouble, and he knew that there is no other person to call that will answer you than him.
Mr. and Mrs. Uduak Frank later cut their wedding cake and fed each other, expressing gratitude to God and their family and friends for making their day memorable. The little village of Uteruran in Uran local government area will today host family members, friends and associates of late Chief Ignatius Okon Bassi as his remains shall be interred. The funeral and Thanksgiving Mass will be held at the Government Primary School grounds, Uteruran, by 10 a.m. this morning. A statement jointly signed by the eldest son of the deceased, Mr. Anthony Okon Bassi, and the son-in-law, Mr. John Ofyong, explains that the burial shall be preceded by a vigil mass about noon at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church, Uteruran. The late Ignatius Okon Bassi, aged 79, was a one-time vice chairman, supervisor for works and transport in Uran local government area from 1998 to May 1999, and later member Mbiaya Uran Customary Court from 2002 to 2008. He taught in several schools across the former Cross River and present-day Akwa Ibom states until his retirement as principal head teacher of schools in 1995. While in active service, he was elected into the executive of the Nigerian Union of Teachers between 1974 and 78 and became Uran Branch Corption Chairman from 1991 to 95. As a devout Catholic, he was at various times the CMO chairman of St. Lawrence's Parish, Emanuran, and later vice chairman, Uran Esien Itiaba, Inter-Parish Council. The late school head teacher is survived by wife, Joy, children, grandchildren, in-laws, and numerous relations. Meanwhile, a number of individuals and groups have condoled the family on the passage of their patriarch. Among these are the head of civil service, Mrs. Cecilia Odoisien, who described the late I.O. Bassey as a distinguished, thoroughbred and consummate teacher. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Ekong Effiong, and his counterpart in Culture and Tourism spoke of the man as a selfless personality with a humane and amiable disposition. And now on foreign news, the Al-Shabaab leader who masterminded the deadly attack on a shopping mall in Kenya in 2013 has been killed. This and more on our foreign news segment with Mercy Ekere.
A U.S. drone has killed the leader of Al-Shabaab militant group, Adnan Gara, who was thought to have masterminded the deadly attack on the Westgate shopping mall, Kenya, in a 4-day siege, killing at least 67 people in 2013. Al-Shabaab responsibility for the shooting and said the attack was to Kenya for sending troops into Somalia alongside the militants. The major threat to the region was struck, killing the militants. In Tunisia, Beji Kaid Essebsi has visited the hospital where more than 40 people wounded in the Bado Museum attack are being treated. At least 20 tourists and 2 Tunisians were killed, as well as the 2 gunmen. The gunmen who stormed the heavily guarded parliament compound and took hostages were killed in a counter-attack. Hundreds of Tunisians had gathered to pay their respects to the victims and to condemn the attack. President Vladimir Putin of Russia has attended the celebrations marking the first anniversary of Russia's annexation of the Crimea Peninsula from Ukraine. Russia's parliament had approved the annexation of the peninsula, which is home to Russia's Black Sea Fleet. At the anniversary celebrations, President Putin commended the support of Russian citizens for the annexation of the Crimea. The internationally recognized Ukrainian territory of Crimea was annexed by Russia Federation in March 2014. The event was condemned by many world leaders as being illegal. The United Nations General Assembly rejected the vote, which saw a majority of Crimeans opting to join Russia. Japan and China have held security talks after a 4-year hiatus because of territorial tensions. The talks involve top officials from each country's foreign and defense ministries. Tokyo and Beijing are at loggerheads over the sovereignty of uninhabited islands in East China Sea. Relations soured in 2012 when the Japanese government angered China by nationalizing some of the island, and Beijing has refused most high-level talks with Tokyo.
And with news from our foreign desk, we conclude our package this morning. You can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45 or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. That's our package. Stay on for sports with Steve.